What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Leave It to the Judges MMA show. As always, I'm here with Nick and Xavier, and today, guys, we're going to be rating and grading. We're going to be giving letter grades to up and coming UFC fights, whether it be into Apex, Fight Nights, pay-per-views. We're just going to pick some random fights that I'll select them, and we're all going to give them a letter grade and briefly discuss why we're interested in them, why we gave them that grade, and you can give your prediction if you want. Let's get started. I feel like it's only appropriate we'll grade the next card on the list, which is Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady. We're just doing the main event. What would you give this fight?
I'd give it like a B, personally.
Okay.
Um, we're only grading them like as individual fights, right?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
like
not the
not like in
cards.
terms of like draw value.
No, just like how excited you are for this fight.
Yeah. Maybe like a B. I want to see where Gilbert Burns is, how much he has left in the tank, and I feel like Sean Brady is a good test for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd give it a B minus, probably only because I think it's going to be a lot of grappling. So I just find those fights a little less interesting. But I totally agree with you, X. My boy Burns. Let's see if he can come back. I mean, he's a plus 145 right now, which I think is great value in this fight. I do rate Sean Brady though as a wrestler, but like I don't know, man. That's a good fight. I think that's a very close contested fight.
See, yeah, that's a respectable like fight night Apex main event. Yeah, I agree. I'd give it like a B minus. Both guys. Sean Brady's coming off a very impressive performance over Kelvin Gastelum. He looked really good. He kind of destroyed Gastelum. Gilbert Burns did lose his last fight. Pretty like he did get knocked out with the knee, but he was winning the fight. He was winning pretty clearly against a really high contender in JDM. So yeah, I think this will be a good fight. But guys, give it to me. Who do you think's gonna win?
I'm taking Burns, man.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm probably leaning Burns, honestly.
I think like Clark said, I do think this fight has a lot of grappling in it, and for that reason, I just think that like I have a feeling that like Burns can catch him in something. I think he has like a lot more experience and like jujitsu advantage.
Okay.
I'd also say Burns is better on the feet as well. I mean, you can't get knocked out by Bilal on standing and get my pick. That's all I is only law. That's all.
That is crazy. That's his only loss to Bilal Muhammad getting knocked out. Like that's just wild.
But Bilal's so weak, he couldn't even knock him out properly.
I
Like
don't even think he dropped him. He's just like
the standing KO. Like Sean Brady just had no defense and like just got punched out.
no for real.
Facts.
All right, though. Let's move on, guys. UFC Noche. We're gonna
Woo!
start with Brian Ortega, number 3, versus number 12, Diego Lopez. As everyone knows, this fight was scheduled
Hey,
earlier this year, got canceled. Give me a letter grade.
hey,
A
Yeah, for
A
sure.
A
Definitely.
yeah, A.
hey.
Reason
I,
why, man. You
yeah,
know, man, we back, man. My boy T City. This fight got scheduled before. Like, I want T City to put him in his place, so that he's still like elite. But Lopez a hungry up and comer, man. He's really explosive, and like in the first like round, like one shot is all it takes. So I'm interested to see like where Ortega is. I know he's been dealing with some like mental issues and shit, so I just want to make sure that he's like locked in still.
Yeah. And
And then go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, with Diego Lopez, I feel like people might not be as high on him as they were before the Dan Ige fight because he did win the fight, but I remember us talking. He didn't look amazing. He got hit a lot with a guy coming on less than a day's notice. So I know you guys are big T City fans. I'd be feeling more confident than I was before.
we were already confident. The thing is, like T City is always overlooked. That's why I like these kind of guys, like the DDPs, the Oliveras of the world, the Ortegas. They're overlooked. They always are. And even in that Yair fight, we were calling it. T City gonna take him down because Yair got shit ass takedown defense,
Every
and he
time.
got him.
Every time.
I will say on the feet, T City. I mean, T City is gonna need to get the takedowns for sure. Even though I think Lopez, I think we were saying, I mean, he looked very sloppy, I'd say, in the striking. He just has a lot of like burst and power. So I do, but Ortega at this point on the feet, I don't know if he can improve really anymore. And he'll need to get the takedown. Lopez is dangerous down there, but I do think Ortega's just as good, definitely better on the ground. So
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be interesting in the scrambles. I think it'll be a bloody fight. I could see. I I honestly think it'll probably go decision because it's only 3 rounds, I believe. Um, maybe I feel like more likely Lopez gets a finish if there is one, to be honest. But I think T City just out wrestles them. I think out wrestles them. Once again, great value, just like Burns at a plus 145 here.
I feel like Clark says, I have TCD winning this shit. I feel like I see it playing out a little different than you though, Clark. I feel like when I envisioned the fight, I think that like we already know that Ortega has a good chin, like one of the best chins. I think it was like in our chin video. He has an elite chin, man, and I think it might be tested early. I feel like Lopez, especially if he comes out aggressive, how he usually does, and gets right to it. I feel like he might put Ortega on the back foot a little bit in round one. But I think that like once things start settling down, I think Ortega is the more technical striker. And I think that Lopez is susceptible to scrambles, which like I think Ortega can capitalize on one of those like late round two, round three, and get us up some kind of exchange.
Yeah, I will say in the original vid leading up to their fight, the one
Hmm.
thing I noticed about Lopez, he is very, he does not have great takedown defense, what I've seen in his fights. Like, obviously, the grappling is very, or the submission game, very high level from his side. He could definitely throw anything up. But, I mean, I mean, he's a good wrestler, but he took him down every opportunity. Even Gavin Tucker took him down in their fight. I mean, he got the easy sub because it's Gavin Tucker, but I'm just saying he can be taken down for sure. And Ige, I think is just a little less skilled than Ortega, and he made it a dog fight for sure. So I think Lopez is a great contender. I think if he like tweaks a few, like if he's tweaking a few things coming into this fight and he looks very polished on the feet, it could be dangerous for sure. But I don't think it's been enough time for that. I think he has like how old is he?
29 or something.
29, okay. I mean, he still has time to improve. Um, I think it's a little early. I just think he gets beat. But I think it's a good fight for sure.
If
I
I
think
had to lean, oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
If I had to lead someone, I think I'm gonna take Diego Lopez 29-28 decision. I think it'll be I think like you said, Xavier, Diego Lopez, I think is gonna win the first round. He's gonna put hands on Ortega, but not as Diego gets more tired, but like as the fight slows down, I think it'll open up opportunities for Ortega to take it to the ground. But I do think Lopez will eke out a decision.
I feel that. I was just gonna say, I feel like it's a big trend with guys who have like a good submission game that they're gonna be naturally inclined more susceptible to like trust going to their back or feel comfortable going there. I feel like the people who have good takedown defense are like people that know that they're strikers, they want to be on the feet, and they know where their advantage is. You know what I mean? If you're one of these guys, like yeah, you're a great striker. I would say personally, his striking game better than his jujitsu game, but like he has a great jujitsu game too. So he's comfortable going down to the ground. You know what I mean? I feel
Mhm.
like that kind of gets these jujitsu based fighters like tripped up sometimes.
Yeah, that's facts. I completely understand what you're saying. All right, guys. So let's keep it in the sphere. Let's go to the co-main event. We got Grasso versus Shevchenko 3. I like these two, but I feel like this rivalry has really dragged out. They're coming off that tough season. How excited are you guys for the third fight?
Um, I'll give it an A. Um, I've been watching Tough a little bit,
I heard it's
and
a decent season.
it's been solid. There's not like as much animosity between the two of them, so it's not one of these like it's not like a Connor season or like a John Jones versus uh, you know what I mean? It's not that deep in terms of like bad blood, but there is like a healthy competitive like rivalry and like you know what I mean? Grasso even talks about on there like I looked up to Shevchenko for so long, like it kind of pisses me off that like she can't acknowledge that she just lost. Like she kind of feels like Shevchenko is always making excuses for like, oh, I made a mistake instead of like giving her the credit, basically, which is like you're kind of splitting hairs, but I mean, whatever like gets you motivated to, whoop her ass. But yeah, I just want to see where Shevchenko is, man. She's still the fucking killer. Can she pull the rabbit out the hat one more time, or is the sport like, only at the top level, of course, like has it caught up to her? Like I'm just curious to see that once and for all. So I would say I would give it like an A.
I will go B minus. I thought
Damn.
about making it a C, and the only reason
Damn.
is like like Ed said, like why has this been dragged? Like when did these fights first start? This trilogy, like 3 years ago? Like I feel like this is dragged on so hard.
Check.
It's kind of just like holding up the division. I mean, I understand why there's a trilogy. Obviously, second fight was a draw. They have to do it again. Um, I agree with everything you said, X, though. I mean, I think it comes down to does Valentina still have it? I just I think she does, but it's like kind of the Izzy effect from the last two fights he had. I think she's still good and she could win, but I don't think it's the same Shevchenko that we're seeing in there these days.
You don't
And
think
I
it's enough to beat Grasso?
I, I am picking Grasso. I've always been impressed with Grasso, honestly, on her come up and even the victory. I mean, to be fair, I think Shevchenko has been kind of winning these fights in a way, and Grasso has kind of pulled out like a rabbit out of the hat every time. But she's in the fight like in clear, like very close contested fights. And Shevchenko's 36 now. And like even Grasso, like the fact Grasso's kind of beating her on the feet is more concerning to me because I do think Grasso is a pretty good like submission game and isn't the worst off her back. So that's the only concerning part. I feel like the fact Grasso's like winning these fights mainly on the feet.
Yeah.
But but I think it'll be a close fight again. I think they're pretty evenly matched at this point. Um, it could kind of go either way, but I'm kind of siding Grasso.
Yeah.
For
All right,
me,
go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like, yeah, Grasso got the submission in the first one. I thought Valentina won the second one. It was a draw, but it was razor close. Yeah. I was just gonna ask you guys for your like prediction on like who do you think is the better fighter going into this one?
I think Shevchenko. I think like Clark said, like we are dealing with like this is not the Shevchenko of old, but I still think this Shevchenko is still good enough to beat Grasso. Is where I kind of stand with it. Like this fight mostly is a litmus test for Shevchenko to me, just because not be, like no disrespect to Grasso either. Like she beat her the first time, and like she's been in these fights, like Nick said. But I was thinking that like, and on a lot of these moments, like Shevchenko is dominating like large portions of the fight, dominating in terms of like just winning, not like winning convincingly, not like hurting her necessarily a lot, but um I think that like what I'm seeing is just more mistakes from Shevchenko than ever before in her past, and that I feel like that's kind of what's making the difference in these fights. It's just the fact that like sometimes like it might be a stumble here or you're out of position here, and I don't think that that used to really happen to Shevchenko for the most part. So it's like, is she just a step slower, and like this is just what it leads to? I don't know, but I think that like I still am gonna side with her until I see a Jurassic fall off.
That's just I feel that it's a very hard fight to call.
What about you? You're the tiebreaker.
I am gonna go with. Fuck. I'm gonna give.
Like honestly, it's a toss. I
I'm gonna
would
give
No
the
bad.
bullet one more shot.
There's no bad answer here, honestly.
The right answer is Grasso. I feel like she's just kind of up and coming, but yeah, I'm gonna give the bullet one more chance here because I did think she won the last fight. I not a robbery, but I gave that fight to her.
I,
yeah, no, I also had Shevchenko winning the last fight, but
I
it
agree.
was extremely close.
Yeah, and there's just these weird moments in these fights where Grasso just like puts hands on
Wait,
Shevchenko.
wait,
I'm like,
wait, wait,
how?
wait, wait, wait. I'm thinking about it right now. Like, was it like a round 5-10-8 that fucking made it a
Yeah,
draw?
yeah, yeah.
Hell no.
It
I'm
was
thinking
no, it
about it, man.
was.
Shevchenko confidently, bro. I mean, unless she just aged a lot since the last fight.
Yeah, that's like the time here is like that's why I'm also not like this has been dragging on. Like when was that last fight? Like a
Their
year ago, year and
their
a half.
first fight was March of 23 and then September of 23.
Oh yeah, so it's been like a year
It's in about
almost
a year,
since that
over a
last.
year. Yeah,
Oh my gosh, bro. I'm thinking about it now. I'm pissed, bro. Now I'm pissed because I remember that fucking fight. Like, yeah, that shit was fried as
no, it
fuck.
was
Like, a
wild.
10 ain't my ass, bro. A 10 ain't my ass.
No, for sure.
That hey, if that was that fight the main event of that card?
Yeah,
If it wasn't the main event, he should have been fucking dismissed. Like
I
what
think
the
it
fuck?
was. I think
Hey,
it was.
since we're doing that, I'm more for Dana doing that shit more often, bro. Dismissing
booting.
these fuckers.
Yeah,
It,
fuck them.
You are relieved of your duties today, and
Go home.
probably for the future, honestly.
All right, though, guys. One more fight in a spear. I'm pretty sure I don't even need to
plus,
ask.
A plus.
Yeah, A plus for the O'Malley and Marab. Honestly, probably the most exciting O'Malley fight that he's ever had. This build up, I really like it. Marab kind of has the revenge arc with Aljo. We all know the clash of styles between these two. It's an obvious A plus, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else you could give it. And it's got everything. It's got bad blood. It's got like stylistic matchups. We have like a Connor-esque fighter in O'Malley, and we have a Habib-esque, like only in terms of like a heavy grappling type, uh, and Marab. So yeah, I'm really excited for this fight. I can see it going like so many different ways, honestly. So like that also intrigues me. I don't really know like how well Sean's grappling is gonna hold up, but like, what if he pulls a fucking sub out of the hat? Like, that's very possible. Sean's grappling is legit, so anything's on the table, boys. Anything's on the table, and it's an A plus for me.
Yeah, I mean, I love this fight. Any chance for Ray Longo and that team to lose, I'm all in for it. Like Dennis Bazooka, I'm like,
I bet on him, bro.
okay, Ed, you shouldn't have done that. But
I
second,
bet I bet on him plus points.
yeah, did that hit her? Yeah, right.
Oh, he didn't win a round.
Who, Bazooka?
Yeah, he maybe won round three, but
He
he got
he won on a scorecard.
Oh wait, no, it did it. It did it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, and that was crazy, by the way, that he got a
yeah,
split
no,
decision. That was
that's
in
wild.
like they gave that man a round where he got dropped and almost like these judges need to get kicked out of there
I
immediately. They
wonder where they come from. Like, where are they? Why can't we be judges, guys? Why? Well, why not?
Leave it to the judges, man. Leave it to us, because
It's
we
not that
got
hard
you.
to
it's
judge
not
fights.
like
I'm not gonna lie, Ed, I was literally like sitting there yesterday and contemplating that very thing. Like, it is not that hard. Like, I know what I'm seeing. I know what a round win is, bro.
Like,
Like,
I just want to sit down and have a 30-minute conversation with the Tuivasa judge. I just like, what was going through your head, brother?
especially that especially that dude.
Hey, what was going through his head is like it is Australia. That is
I
the only
mean,
thing. Like he wasn't even watching the fucking fight, clearly.
Tuipasa's coach might have just paid him off before the fight started,
How
and
much?
like
I wonder how much.
he might have just left. He might have
Investigate.
just left.
Get Mark Hunt on the case, bro. This shit needs to be investigated, I
So
swear.
hard fun. But the fight itself, I mean, it's amazing. Like
Facts.
as you like all the points have already been said. It's just a dream matchup. They're both talking their shit, but at the end of the day, my man Sugar Sean O'Malley, I have both of these men on my squad, so I'm cool either way. But I am definitely more of a Sean fan, and I think he just TKOs him. I don't think Marab has the chin. The line has shifted him. It's now even money, or like
What was it before?
Sean was an undie for like plus 120, I want to say.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like that might be like a accurate way of how I see the fight, honestly.
Really?
Just in terms of like we've just been watching Marab ragdoll everybody, and I just feel like again, like I don't know what I know that like I've seen Sean O'Malley do like jujitsu tournaments and shit like that. So I know I know he has submission skills. I just don't know like how good his defensive wrestling is in terms of like if that's gonna be the plan of attack the whole time. You know what I mean? Aljo one didn't test that at all, but two, one he just never got a chance. Right, the fight ended in round two early, but either way, Aljo as a fighter is a more willing to strike fighter. Like willing to strike into the clinch, willing to strike into a takedown. Like Marab is more like, nah, like you know that Marab is about to shoot and it's not gonna take that long because he knows he doesn't have the chin to be striking with Sean, I feel like. He's gonna crowd him. I could see a couple of rounds where Sean is like just really either like in the clinch against the fence or like just getting smothered. I don't think Marab's gonna be doing too much damage in rounds like that. And maybe Sean can like get up and get off a couple combinations and steal rounds. But I think that Sean will catch him, like Clark said. Every round, every fight starts on the feet. And I think Sean's just a sniper. So as long as his cardio holds up to me, like with 5 rounds of standing, like in the beginning of the round, I think he will catch Marab. And I feel like even Cejudo caught him, to be honest. So like if
Yeah.
Cejudo can catch him, O'Malley could put him out.
Yeah, I keep harping back to this. I just feel like Marab is such a zero on the feet. His wrestling is undeniable. His wrestling is insane. His cardio is pressure, but like, man, on the feet, he is very chinny. He's been rocked multiple times by much lesser strikers than Sean O'Malley. And it's more like, okay, is Sean going to catch him a couple times and knock him out, or is Marab going to grind him out for 25 minutes? I'm going to lean with Sean here, but I totally get if you're going to pick Marab.
Facts.
Marlon Moraes also dropped him and had him finished, and it's Marlon Moraes, my favorite guy. But I will say rewatched the Aljo fight recently, and what I will give Sean amazing credit for that I think made Izzy so good at takedown defense, his lateral movement is insane. I think he can go back and forth all day on Marab. The only thing I could like Moran might be faster than Aljo, so he could be able to get those takedowns on that movement, but I mean, Sean was just dancing all over Aljo, honestly. I don't think Aljo had a chance to get the takedowns really. And even when he did shoot, they were very off balance and usually just one leg. Never clasped the hands around a body lock or anything. So I do think Sean's lateral movement is very underrated, and his takedown defense is very underrated. And I think he can stop. I mean, Murad might get a takedown or two. Who knows? I mean, it's probably gonna happen. But I think Sean's good enough to get back up. I think he's good enough to, with his movement, to just pick Murad apart in this fight and get the TKO.
Yeah, definitely. It's
I
going to be a
say
sick
round
ass
three.
card.
I say
Three.
round three.
Okay.
Round 3. That's my prediction right now.
Round 2, same round.
All right, guys. Let's move on to the next card. This card is in France, actually. We're gonna start with the co-main event. We don't gotta touch on it too much, but Brendan Allen versus Imanov, 7 versus 4. Clark, why don't you start off? Your boy, Brendan
I
Allen.
mean, as a grade, honestly, like, I mean, it's got to be a C plus. It's not that interesting to me just because Brendan Allen's in this fight. Imavov gonna beat the crap out of him, honestly. I don't see where like Imavov's a good wrestler, and I feel like that's the only thing Brendan Allen has right now. So I think Imavov just shakes him off and beats the crap out of him on the feet. Imavov easily wins this.
Yeah, I might go like I don't want to give it anything less than a C because I don't want to be disrespectful. It's a high level fight on paper,
Yeah.
but it is Brendan Allen. And like granted, like he's legit, but I mean, like, yeah, I don't think that like either of these guys are like needle movers in terms of excitement right now.
Y'all don't
And
see any future champs in this fight?
I don't see any future champs in this fight.
Okay.
And it's not gonna be Brendan Allen if it is. So, like, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it like a C just because the only really interesting part is because like they're both very highly ranked, so it means a lot for the division. But yeah, it is what it is. All right, let's go to the main event. A little more exciting. We got BSD versus Moicano. BSD a minus 240 favorite in his hometown. What are your guys' thoughts on this one? Give me a grade.
I feel like does he have staph infection or does he not? Is this staph infection BSD or
We
not, man?
don't we don't know yet.
I think that I'll give this fight a B plus. Stylistically, I feel like they match up well. Both guys like to grapple. Both good in both good solid strikers. I think BSD probably has a little bit of an advantage there, especially early. But we've seen BSD gas out now, and Moicano, we've seen him endure ass whipping a little bit in round 1 to come back and snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. So I feel like this is a good stylistic matchup, and I'm excited for the fight.
Yeah, I'd give it a B plus too. I got BSD on my squad. I've been high on Moicano and his come up. I think he's a very underrated fighter. But I think BSD is a pretty bad matchup for him just
Yeah.
because of the grappling. I think I mean it comes down to that. I think if Moicano can out grapple him, he can win. But BSD in the Poirier fight, I feel like he really was just trying to make a statement and do anything possible to get him out quick. And maybe it was just the staff he was worried about. So he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna hit this gas pedal right away. Because I feel like I've never seen BSD go that crazy. Like he usually is like a big finisher early. I've never seen him go that crazy like that, like relentless in their face. And I don't know. I feel like that was just kind of a weird one where he just decided to go for it early instead of just do his normal thing. And I feel like if he does his normal thing in this fight, he beats Moicano, in my
Sure.
opinion. I don't know about easily, but I think he could find a TKO at least pretty easily. And
All right, guys.
For
So
me, I think that BSD takes this fight.
yeah,
Moicano legit, but I think that in terms of pure athleticism and aggression and like strength, BSD hasn't beat. And I think that BSD probably expected to overpower Poirier. And I think that like the wake up call that he got might have probably like motivated a guy like him to like let me lock in more and like I can't just bully everybody. Let me be more tactical. And I think that we're gonna see a better BSD now that he like actually got humbled a little bit. So I'm taking BSD here.
what did you guys give grades for excitement level? Forgot.
B plus.
yeah,
Plus. Okay. That's right. Yeah, I'm also gonna take BSD, man. I think it's his bounce back at home. All right, let's move on to 307. This card's actually really stacked.
Let's start with Sterling versus Evolov.
I'm
Give me
excited.
give me a
I'm
grade.
excited. I'll give it like a B plus, just because like in general, I'm excited. Like whenever Aljo's fighting up at featherweight, it's just like an intriguing storyline personally for me. I like to see how he's faring up there. So mostly for that reason, rather than the opponent, I'm gonna give it a B plus, a B.
Yeah, I agree. I always like the story when former champions move to another weight division and see how they do against the contenders. I know Aljo isn't the most exciting guy, but he is still a former champ. He's still world class. So I'd give it a B plus. I do like the matchup also.
I'm giving it an A minus because I think Aljo's gonna lose, and that's my excitement level for this.
I'm dead.
The hater love.
No, I
That's
mean
fair though. That's fair.
it's tough. I mean, he should have fought, or I think Ortega was probably a better matchup for him personally.
I think
But
Ortega would sub him up though bad.
I know. I think he lose.
Put him in a
That's what I
pretzel.
said about
I think he
Aljo.
might knock him out.
This is what I said. I said his
Honestly,
chance was Cater, and the rest of the top like six, he has no shot
Oh, and
against.
that Cater fight, bro, like he won dominantly, but Jesus Christ, he was holding on for dear life to Cater.
I think Evilov's just too crisp. I think he's just too crisp for him. Maybe he can out muscle him. Maybe I'll be surprised and he just out wrestles him. But Evilov is too much of a dog right now. Undefeated. He's not an Ov. Technically, he's an Ev, but close enough, man. He's undefeated. I just don't see him losing this fight, really.
Okay.
I would say, yeah, Iolov, maybe.
Like a 29-28, probably.
I was gonna say by decision.
That's fair.
I could see Aljo like getting a backpack or some shit, or just like some control position where he's not doing that much damage, but like just a lot of control for at least one of the rounds. But outside of that, I see him getting beat on the feet. So I'll give
All
it
right.
like 29-28 probably.
Let's move on to Ketlin Vieira versus Kayla Harrison.
I'll
Same
give it an
card.
A. I'll give it an
Yeah.
A just because like Kayla Harrison, the new kid on the block, man.
She's the shit.
She's the shit, man. I love her style. She's aggressive. She's more physically imposing than most of her opponents, and I love to watch it. I love to watch her rise. I've been excited about her coming over to the UFC for a fat minute now, a couple years. And now that it's finally here, like I'm excited every time she gets in the cage, man. She's electric.
Yeah, I agree. I'm giving this fight an A because of Kayla Harrison. I was nothing but blown away. Was it 300?
Yep. I think that's Holly Holm.
Yeah. I was nothing but impressed. She looked so dominant. Like more dominant than I thought she'd be against a good fighter like Holly Holm. And like
Definitely.
Caitlin Vieira, I think she's a decent fighter. She hasn't fought in a while though, so it's definitely not a good one to just come back to. Uh I think Kayla Harrison just electric out there. I think she can like out grapple anyone in this division. I think she can beat anyone in this division. The only one that has a shot, but hopefully she loses, is Juliana Pena.
She coming back for that payday, man. She knows that she's gonna get like mauled in there, honestly, I feel like. But
Yeah, I just don't see anyone touching Harrison right now, not named Amanda Nunes, who's not in this UFC anymore. Even then, I don't even know. Kayla Harrison just seems invincible right now.
I feel like Nunes is the only person that could beat her.
If you guys had to bet on it, does Amanda Nunes make a return if Harrison has the belt?
No,
No.
I think she's done. She's just too old. Like, how old is she now? Like 37? Or like,
She's a mom and all that, yeah.
I could say I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes.
Ooh,
I think that like there is a number, man. There is a number of dollars, green dineros that
she's
will,
just
that's
will
true.
entice her. And I also think that like a big reason that she left is not because she was getting old, just because like what more does she have to prove, you know? I feel like a viable threat, like she's not like Khabib where Like she has to stick by her moral principles. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's not really a moral thing with her. So because of that, I feel like the door's always open, and I feel like a healthy challenge, like a big money fight, and like a chance to like really prove her dominance might just draw her out of retirement.
I agree with you, but I feel like only because I don't think like if they were to fight, this would be a year, 2 year. Like I don't know when that fight would happen.
Yeah,
I feel like
because
by that point, like Nunez might just be like, eh. That's the only reason I probably don't see it. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she just came out for a fight real quick.
I feel like
all right,
if Carly Harrison gets the belt and she's not the first person to challenge her for it, then it's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
facts. Yeah, yeah, facts. Alrighty, let's move up the card a little bit. I think this fight is going to be super exciting. I definitely give this an A minus. Stephen Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley. I just think this is an awesome. It's going to be a banger on the feet, man. What do you guys thoughts on this fight?
I would give it like a B. Um, I rock with Buckley and I rock with Wonder Boy, but like this is not the Wonder Boy of old. Um, and I still think that he can confidently like out point Buckley in there. Buckley, for all his like power at 170, his striking style is like it leaves a lot to be desired in terms of like technical ability. I feel like you could easily like matador him, and I feel like if Stephen Thompson can't like beat him, he's got to hang it up, bro. He's got to hang it up because no other version of Wonder Boy in his prime would have lost to a Buckley.
yeah, I'd probably give it a B. Um, maybe if this fight was 2 years ago, I'd probably rate it a little higher. But I do agree, Wonder Boy's a little older now, not as explosive on the feet. And I do think Buckley will probably try to take him down. I think that's going to be his game plan in this fight. So I don't think it'll be as much on the feet as we expect.
Yeah, no, maybe I'm overselling it a little, but fair enough.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good fight. I think Buckley is very likely to go for some takedowns once he realizes, like,
He
because I
can't
think
touch
Wonder
her.
Boy will just win on the beat. Yeah.
Sure. Alrighty, let's move on to the co-main events. Women's bantamweight title fight. Number one ranked fighter Juliana Pena from Chicago take on Raquel Rocky Pennington, the champ. Give me a letter grade. What are we feeling for this one?
Tough one, actually.
No, you can start with this one, Clark.
I'd say like a B minus.
That's
Like
fair.
it's like I don't know. It's just like kind of a weird matchup. And to get like excited for, like, cause I fuck with Raquel. It's cool she got the belt. She's an old timer for sure. But man, I'm just not a Pena fan, and I just feel like she's gonna win this fight. I think it's making me more disinterested the fact she's going to it. And I don't think it'll be exciting at all, to be honest. Like, you might get some cool, like, suplex takedown or something, I guess. But, like, besides that, I don't think it'll be much of excitement. I think Pena probably wins a decision. I actually think Raquel's kind of tough enough to go all five with her. But I think it's a boring lay and pray, a little ground and pound here and there.
I think Pennington could win this fight. Nunez has not fought in over 2 years, by the way, which is kind of crazy for all the for all the yapping she's been doing. And Raquel, I mean, yeah, she's been more active. She is the champ. I'm very confused how this fight is gonna look come fight night. What are these two women gonna do inside the cage? Xavier, how do you think the fight is gonna look? And also give us a grade.
Grade. Um,
A tough one.
It's like I don't want to disrespect. That's the thing, like, because it's like I do think it's like a quality fight, but in terms of my personal excitement, I would give it like B minus, C plus territory. I just feel like this division has been pretty stale for a minute now, and Kayla Harrison is the only thing that's like really moving the needle here. And like the fact that she's not getting a title shot, I feel like it's kind of bad business. But I mean, I guess like in the under the guise of like keeping legitimacy, like I guess Pena should deserve it more on paper, but like you know what the fans want to fucking see. So like I just feel like we could have just got that a little sooner. Like the sooner Kayla Harrison gets that title, the better for all of us involved, especially the UFC's pocket. So they could have just got that going. And after seeing like how good she is, I just know that like neither of these women are the best fighter in their division. So it's kind of like, what are we doing here?
They'd get fucked up so bad, man.
Like she's got it. Kayla Harrison's got to be next, but um, as far as how I see the fight playing out, I feel like it depends on like cardio because I think that Raquel Pennington really scrappy. So like if Pena like I feel like Pena should have the advantage, especially like Clark said and like grappling exchanges. And I feel like there's a chance I could see a sub at some point, depending on how it's going. But yeah, I might probably predict like fourth round sub Pena, just because
35, by the way. That's crazy.
you said what?
Pena is 35. I didn't. They're both the same age. I did not know that. That's interesting.
Raquel's on like a 5-6 fight winning streak, also.
I thought that like you like I thought that she was like 37, so like that might yeah. I mean, I feel like Pennington just has more MMA miles on her, you know what I mean, for sure. But hey man, that might be like that might just manifest itself into scrappy endurance. We might be seeing the Charles Oliveira run of Raquel Pennington here. So
Oh yeah.
I hope Raquel wins this fight.
I hope
so
she murks Pena, bro.
I hope she wins this fight.
I'll give Pena that. She's fun to root against. She is very fun to root against, which is a good thing in MMA.
She's
I would
her
I'm
and Remy Bilal is annoying as fuck. Like
I mean like hey, if we care one way or the other, we care. So I mean she's doing
Better
something
than not caring. Yep.
the Kobe
Facts.
Covington approach. But yeah, I'm gonna guess she catches Pennington in some kind of a sub round 4. But I would not be surprised if Pennington gritted out a 48-47 decision here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Pennington by decision. I'll give the grade like I'll give it a B. You know, I love title fights. It is exciting to see who Harrison will fight next, but it should be a decent fight.
who she'll beat next, Ed?
What's up? Oh yeah, pretty much. All right, boys. Last fight of the video. We're gonna save like UFC 308 and other ones for future videos. Last one of the night. Alex Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree. We got the champion versus number 8. Pereira a minus 455 favorite, plus 350 for Roundtree. What are your guys' thoughts? Give me a grade.
Take us away, Clark.
I give it an A. I am a big supporter of Khalil Roundtree. I don't know if he exactly deserves the title shot, really, but he's been on a nice win streak. I like his style. Decent kickboxer for sure. And then he's going up against the man himself, Todd. Like the most exciting fighter in the UFC right now. It has to be an A fight anytime he's out there, no matter what. Because this man, I think he's the most powerful striker combat sports has ever seen, in my opinion.
That's an interesting take. He's up there.
Who's more powerful?
That's a hot thing.
My
Tyson?
my personal is Deontay Wilder. I think he's the hardest puncher I've ever seen. That's my he in combat sports. Deontay Wilder is, in my opinion,
The hardest.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta think like Wilder's doing it with the pillow gloves, so it's like
Yeah, and he's really like skinny. Like he's a tiny heavyweight, bro.
Yeah, he's always like
And
down
he's
like
slumping
50,
dudes.
50
So wait,
pounds.
wait, 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 wait. You think he hits harder than Iron Mike Tyson?
Yeah, just a single shot to the face. I think Wilder hits harder. I'm not saying he's a better boxer at all, or he'd win against Tyson. I think he hits harder.
Oh no. I think Mike Tyson hits way like Wilder definitely up there, but Mike Tyson hits way harder in my opinion,
I
just from
don't know.
what I've seen.
That's
Obviously, I didn't see Mike Tyson, but I saw the replays.
that's facts. And I feel like the heavyweights back then were like more built or something. Like, you know what I mean? They were all like big Apollo Creed looking motherfuckers. Shit was crazy back then. But for this fight, I will give this fight a A minus. Only because stylistically, I feel like they match up great. My biggest concern is like, and I guess like we can't like fault him for it if he can, but like, can Khalil Roundtree take any of Alex's shots? Um, I feel like most people can't take the shot, so like it might just be a redundant point, but like I think that like if the fight can go on a little bit, I feel like it'll play out pretty good, and I think that Roundtree will surprise people with how good he is in there. I just hope that like it can last at least 3 rounds or like so before one of them, probably
So
Pereira, but like one of them at least lands a KO shot.
yeah,
I feel like with Khalil Roundtree's like oblique kick, like
Yeah.
I feel like I would hate to see this great run of Alex Pereira ruined by a Khalil Roundtree oblique kick. Even though it would be a crazy moment, it would derail like a goat. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's the risk with this fight. Yeah, on paper, this is obviously an A plus. This is going to be an awesome fight on the feet for the fans. I love Roundtree and Pereira, but like I just can't look past the little asterisk. This guy's ranked number 8. Ankalaev obviously deserves it way more than him. And I do like Roundtree, but realistically, it would be a disaster if he like knocked Pereira the fuck out. It'd be a disaster for the UFC. It'd be cool to see Roundtree with the belt, but he's older. Like Pereira's the face, basically the face of the UFC right now. But what the UFC is making on is a fun fight that Pereira
Right.
should and probably will win.
Yeah, it's just Khalil's not a wrestler and they know that. Like they just know he's gonna trade and strike with him. So I think they feel pretty comfortable Pay is just gonna beat him.
Are
And
we all kind of comfortable feeling that same way? That it's a fun fight, but Pereira should comfortably win this fight.
I think that you said how much of a favorite is he? Minus 400 something?
455.
probably a little high, but
I feel like that's a little high, but like I feel like minus 350, minus 4 even, I would say. Like it sounds about right to me. I feel like if you're a casual, it's easy to like look past a Roundtree, but like if you know, you know, like Roundtree is legit, especially
He's
since he
vicious.
went to since he went to fucking Thailand. He changed his style. Since he's been fighting like a Muay Thai style, he's been really like dangerous in there. And I feel like sometimes fighters like take a while to hit their prime, you know? And I feel like that's him. Everything clicking at the right time. And he wasn't off for too long, but hopefully like he was still staying sharp in his time off and he can have a good fight here. I'm hoping he could put up a good fight, maybe win a round or so before I think he eventually, I'm gonna guess round 2 or round 3, each one of those left hooks and it's over with.
Yeah, definitely. I saw a stat which is kind of crazy. All of the guys who Roundtree has lost to in the UFC, Ankalaev has like demolished. So it's kind of funny that like Roundtree's getting the title shot. But hey, listen, if Pereira gets the dub, Ankalaev gets the dub. They both look impressive. That fight's even bigger. But like I said, they both have to win, which they should. But it's an if.
Facts.
I actually think the UFC is really trying to push Rakic for some reason. They're like
Really?
giving him these big fights. He's fine on Goliath, but I think they're just trying to give him these big fights to like get him in the title shot.
He looked great against Yuri until like he just couldn't put him away. He looked phenomenal.
Facts.
Okay, just really quickly, we don't need to go in depth of these fights, but give me a quick grade. Jose Aldo versus Mario Bautista.
I'll give it a B minus. No, actually, I would give it a solid B.
Okay.
Like just because like I'm glad that like Aldo's back. I think he has more to give to the sport, and like usually with a lot of legends, like I'm more against him returning and shit, but Aldo still got it to me, so I'm excited for that. I'll give it a B.
Yeah, I'll give it a B plus. I think it'll just be a nice scrappy fight. I think Aldo honestly should kind of win it. Just like I think Bautista's good, but I think it'll be a good scrappy fight.
Okay, officially last one of the video, Holland versus Delice.
Ooh, I would say B plus. I love watching Holland get in there, man. He's entertaining always. And then I feel like stylistically it's an interesting fight. Um, I want to see how Holland's like how Dolice's cardio holds up. I think Holland has the advantage late if it were to go late. But I think early, like Holland might be on the back foot a little bit here if he can't catch Dolice with something. So I feel like stylistically it excites me.
I only give it a B minus just because Dolidze has not looked good in his last few, and clearly is going to need a takedown in this fight. Very clearly.
That's fair. All right, well, that concludes the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know what you would grade the fights down in the comments. Please check out the TikTok and the shorts. We got a bunch of new content coming out there. Once again, thank you guys for giving us your time of the day.
Peace.